One Africa, one people. One Africa, one people. One Africa, one people. One Africa, one people. One currency, one passport. One currency, one passport. One currency, one passport. One Africa, one people. One Africa, one people.
Greetings, esteemed leaders and my fellow citizens of the great continent of Africa. It is an honor to stand before you today as the President of Africa, a beacon of hope and unity in our quest to realize the dream of our founding fathers and mothers. Today we gather to celebrate our rich history, acknowledge our present challenges, and cast a vision for the prosperous future of the Africa that we want. Our colonial democracy has turned into neocolonialism, as our leaders are still in bed with multinational companies and the enemies of our destiny. We must immediately break the curse of Berlin Conference and celebrate the trip.
Brothers and sisters, welcome all. Welcome back to our channel. This is Facts About Africa, the African channel of your thoughts and changing the narrative of Mother Africa. Today I want to share with you about the issue going on in our continent now. We see Ambassador Dr. Rikana Chomboli Kwao flew to Burkina Faso to praise and congratulate the president of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traore, and she said that Burkina Faso has started the journey to the Africa we want, to the united Africa. And I take this as an key to we who are living in the continent, that we must start ourselves to start this movement of uniting Africa before we call for the African diaspora to come back home and unite with us. Because if they, as you see, they were ready to uniting or to join the movement and they came here in the continent, but still found we are living with these borders. We are living with no one currency, with no one president, and so many things. So let us start, we who are living in the continent of Africa, start to unite, and then we can build the bridge to our brothers and sisters in the diaspora to join this movement. I said this because, as you see at the beginning of this video, you see the clip of our brothers and sisters who are joining together and start moving to call each other that Africa, we need to unite. Africa, we need to have one currency, one president, the continent with borders and so many things that as a state we need to share. And they decide it to do because they see, and also I see, and I hope you see, there is so many importance to once we are coming together. And this issue of coming together, we current generation, we still need this to we need to build, we need to keep more effort, because these things have started to our founding fathers. I'm talking about Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Kambarage Nyerere, Muammar Gaddafi, Kenneth Kaunda, and so many leaders like Patrice Lumumba of Congo, and so many leaders who are speaking, who are preaching this issue of Africa must unite at that time, and still now we are not united. So we have seen leaders, or some of political leaders, who have vision for the African, or for Africa to unite. Example, the leader of economic freedom fighters, Julius Malema, always preaching about Africa must unite, because once we unite, all these things, all this poverty will be eliminated, because being poverty in Africa is constitutional. This said by Joshua Maponga, said that Africa, we are constitutional to be poor, because being poor for Africa, the Western world must be rich of us to be poor. So they keep these borders, and I hope you know that. in order to, for the interest of them, not for we African. So I appreciate what my brothers and sisters who are matching the road and trying to convince others, Africans, to join the movement that Africa, we must unite now. So brothers and sisters, just a few, but I share it with you to reopen also, or to persuade each other that Africa, time for unite is now. We have been talking too much, and now I see the action. I see the action, and I'm proud to be young who among them, because our brother, they're in Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger, they joined together and form the Sahel region. So this is the starting of unity. End of the day, we need to unite the whole continent of Africa. And I see my brothers and sisters in the road calling for Africa to unite. And they say that we need one president of Africa. We need one currency of Africa. We need borderless continent. So in order to move freely, each country, as you move in your own house, you go to the corridor, sitting room, bedroom, and this is how Africa should be. And these things, we need to start it now. And some are starting, let us join them, because the aim is one as Africa. Because out of this, I mean, without doing these things, obviously we will not have fulfill agendas like this continental free trade area. We can't move, or we can't trade within the continent of Africa while we have a different value of our currencies. We don't have single currency. So the value of maybe Nigerian naira with Tanzanian shillings is different. So you can't make a business. That's why we use this dollar to make our business. So we need to unite and have one currency which will be backed by our minerals, and will compete with euro and dollar, because the value of our minerals in Africa is too high. So if our currency will be backed by these minerals, will get high value. So we can't achieve all these things if we are still in this within borders. So we need to remove all this and unite the continent of Africa. The Africa that we want is starting right now. There's no time that we can see now, that we will see now. It's there's no time apart from now that we can see that it's the right time to start this movement. The right time is now, while we are still have this energy, while we are still have this technology, just a little, but we can communicate each other within and outside the continent. Apart from, I mean, at that time, our founding fathers, they communicate each other. You see, the technology was too low, but they managed to come together and plan how Africa should be, how Africa we are going to. They manage it, but end of the day, these Westerners, we know what they did to our founding fathers. So the time is now for we, young generation, we current generation, to make this dream of all Africans, starting from our founding fathers, to become true, that Africa must unite now. Time is now. They, not we, they have been talking too much. We must start an action, because we all know the way, and sometimes it's becoming difficult because we select bad leaders who are not knowing the system. Sometimes, or some leaders, they know the system, but they are at that position for the interest of their masters. So let us time to select leaders who know the system is now, because that is the only thing that will liberate us and restore our dignity. If you see what Captain Ibrahim Traore doing is what the rest of African leaders must do. Firstly, benefits your citizens, not this former colony. So they understand the system. He understands the system, and what he doing, he is right. So I hope some of our African leaders, they must change their minds or their mission. They must quit their mission in easy way. I can say that they must quit their mission and start joining the movement. I hope they know what to do, but due to this contract that we signed with Western world, sometimes we fail because they know what if they going against it. So let us join this movement of uniting Africa. So this is what I want to share with you, brothers and sisters in the continent and those who are in diaspora. Let us share this message. Let us share this issue to the to the Africans around the world. End of the day, they must join the movement of uniting Africa. Thanks for watching. This is Fact About Africa, the African channel where we share thought and changing the narrative of Mother Africa.